Tonight, we're going to update the community on our return to learn. This evening's information is going to focus on our current metrics, our plans for surveillance testing, and an update on plans for distribution of the vaccine to our employees. It's been very rewarding over the past several days, seeing some of our students returning to our campuses in preparation for our hybrid stage. Our schools and the district will continue to share information with our families to help them prepare for the return and the continuation of online learning for those who choose that option. Over the past few meetings, we've presented a lot of information to the board and to the community on our plan for moving into stage 3. As a reminder, you can find those updates on our Return to Learn webpage, www.naperville203.org/return to learn. Several questions we've received are very site or individual specific. So as we prepare for our movement to the next stage, you as a parent are encouraged to reach out to your child's teacher or building administration regarding those site-specific or individual questions. You should continue to expect communication from us in the coming days. As just mentioned, this evening we're going to update you on the return to learn progress. Currently, we are in enhanced learning, stage 2 of our plan. We are on track and preparing for our transition to stage 3 beginning next week. We continue to monitor our local metrics and collaborate with various agencies as we make that transition to hybrid. We are encouraged by the progress we've seen throughout the state and locally. There have been questions about our plan. We can go back, please. There have been questions about our plan for stage 4 and moving to full in-person learning for all and 5 days a week. Under current guidance, that will not occur until the vaccine is more widely distributed or guidance that we get from the Illinois Department of Public Health and the governor's office changes. Some also have been pointing to other districts across the state who are offering a 5-day or full day option for all of their students. I just want to caution you as you look at what other districts are doing. We've talked about this from the beginning. Each district has to look at its own capacity and ability to offer in-person learning. We anticipate, based on our survey data, about 70% of our student population to be in person. At some of our school sites, that number is as high as 85%. Some of the districts that have been referenced as seeing more in person or 5 days a week, full days, have less than 35% of their student population actually in person. So fewer students choosing the in-person option allows more flexibility with in-person instruction. Our goal remains to return to in-person learning as soon as we can do so within the guidance provided to us by state agencies. So we can transition to the next slide, please. And just as a reminder, this is our timeline for transitioning back into hybrid learning. Again, we've had some great activities. It's been fun to see students engaged in transition and welcome events over the course of already even today. We continue to be on pace for hybrid instruction to begin on January 25th. At this time, I'm going to invite Dr. Igo to update you on current metrics and surveillance testing.
As we discussed last time, we have changed the metrics we are monitoring to guide our decisions about in-person instruction. The chart on this slide highlights where each of those metrics are as of Monday, January 18th. Overall, our metrics are stable from our last meeting. Our community positivity rate of 7% falls within the moderate range, with that positivity rate trending down. Our PPE and cleaning supplies continue to be adequate. Our key mitigation strategies of wearing of face masks and social distancing are being successfully implemented within our schools, and we are successfully contact tracing when necessary. Additionally, all staff levels continue to be accurate. Additional information about the new health metrics can be found in the updated Return to Learn guide that Mr. Bridges spoke about earlier, and detailed information about the health metrics can be found on our COVID dashboard. Let me turn the slide. Oops. We've been finalizing our plans for the COVID surveillance testing. As our goal is to have as many individuals participate as possible, our enrollment will be ongoing. In order to enroll, new students or staff will need to complete their consent form and turn it in no later than Tuesday morning by 8 a.m. of each week. New participants may begin testing the following week. Once an individual enrolls in the program, we will be providing them with a test kit that will include all of the materials they will need for 12 weeks of testing. The kit will also include a detailed instruction sheet with a QR code that links to a video demonstration of how to provide the sample. 12 test tubes, 12 small straws, 12 envelopes, as well as 14 unique barcode labels. We'll be collecting those samples once per week. Students and staff will be assigned a consistent day to provide that sample across the entire program. As students enter the building, a bin will be available for them to turn their sample in. If a student forgets or is absent for some reason, they may bring that sample the next day. For any individual whose screening indicates a finding of potential presence of COVID, the notification process will include a text either later that evening that they dropped their sample, or first thing in the morning, which indicates that their sample came back with a probable finding, and that everyone in their household should remain home, and that they will be contacted within the next few hours with next steps. This will alert them as soon as possible to the finding and provide our staff the needed time to connect with them about next steps. Each individual will also receive a phone call from the health office or the human resources, where they will be referred for a PCR test and informed that they and everyone in their household should remain home until they receive the test results. We will also engage in contact tracing at that time. We will then follow up that phone conversation with a letter that outlines the steps to be taken in order for them to return to school. As I mentioned, we'll also be doing some contact tracing for each individual that comes back with that probable finding. We will identify anyone that has been a close contact, which as a reminder is less than 6 feet for more than 15 minutes in a 24-hour time frame, and they will be excluded from school until we have results from the individual's PCR test. If the PCR test is positive, then any close contact would be required to quarantine for 14 calendar days from their day of exposure. This slide shows the implementation timeline for our COVID testing program. This week, we are running a pilot to make sure all systems work and nothing needs to be adjusted. Consent forms for the first week of testing were due today for staff, and we're happy to report that we have 1,265 staff participating, or 65% have signed up for the program. Student consent forms are due tomorrow, and as of 10:30 this morning, we had 2,112 students enrolled in that program. We are hopeful that this number will continue to grow. Next week, staff will begin testing and students will receive their testing kits. The week of February 1st, students will begin testing. Since enrollment will be ongoing, we will also be processing any new participants and providing test kits so that they can begin testing the week of February 8th. We are excited to have the opportunity for our staff and secondary students. We highly encourage everyone eligible for the program to participate. The more participants we have, the greater the impact there will be for the whole community and for our ability to maintain the hybrid learning model. If you've not already done so, we strongly encourage you to complete the consent form within Infinite Campus.
An exciting please go back to the vaccine slide. An exciting development in regard to our return to learn and obviously for us nationally in dealing with the pandemic is the availability now with the vaccine and the distribution of the vaccine. We are continuing to partner with the DuPage County Health Department, which will be the agency locally responsible for the distribution of the vaccine. The county currently still is in the process of administering vaccines to those eligible in Group 1A. We know that the governor has indicated availability to Group 1B beginning the week of the 25th. However, a priority for the county will remain 1A until those eligible receive those vaccinations. Just in terms of currently in the status of the vaccine throughout our county, for Group 1B, that number really is over about 270,000 individuals that are eligible to be vaccinated. Currently, the county is getting a little over 10,000 doses per week, with the hope that it will rise soon to about 18,000 per week. So at that rate, really, of the distribution of the vaccine and the number eligible within Group 1B, we're still looking at a 10 to 12 week process in terms of how long it'll take to get administered. We are collaborating with Indian Prairie School District 204, as well as local providers to be able to administer the vaccine once it does become available. The vaccine has to be distributed by medical providers or any of the 120 pharmacies in DuPage County. So again, we are partnering with, and we'll kind of announce those as those are finalized. but we are partnering to make that vaccine available at our sites, at some of our sites for members of staff once they are eligible. Our registration process for staff started today. We opened up our portal, and just already today, 1,400 of our staff has indicated their interest in participation in the vaccine. So very excited about that, and so that we can get moving. So once again, as that becomes available, we want to be ready and to ensure that our staff are in line and able to get that as soon as it's ready. So we can move to the next slide, please. We will continue to push out more and more communication to keep our community updated about our progress and return to learn plan, frequently asked questions, the website, and social media are all sharing useful information regarding the vaccine. We do need to remain to be vigilant. We do need to remain up to date with our metrics and recommendations that are coming to us from the health department and other agencies. Next slide. As we stated in the beginning of this presentation, our ultimate goal is for all students to return to full in-person learning once we can do so. Our number one commitment is to keep all people in our organization safe and healthy while modeling and staying grounded in our district mission. Through the addition of surveillance testing, the administration of the vaccine on the horizon, we feel very confident that we are ready to safely increase the number of students in our schools each day. Sometimes we get asked as community members, what can we do to help? What can we do to ensure that we are able to maintain this? Again, please continue to follow mitigation recommendations that are brought to you by the Illinois Department of Public Health. But I'd also encourage individuals who have the availability to check our human resources page for opportunities to work for District 203. There are vacancies that are available to us, especially looking for substitute teachers. Please check the website regarding the process for applying for those jobs. Really, in order to ensure that we are able to continue with full in-person, we are going to need your help. And I think another area of support that we could get is the opt-in on the surveillance testing to help us control and identify the potential spread. As Dr. Igo mentioned earlier, we initiated and launched our pilot this week. A number of us participated in that. It's a simple process, an easy process, and really would encourage you all to help us out in that area. So with that, members of our team will be happy to respond to questions that the board has regarding our update this evening. Thank you.